Hello, hello, everyone. That's a pleasure to be among you and welcome for another Luxury Live interviews. And today we are happy to talk with Cerise Washington, an artist who uses light, movement, and emotion to create beautiful art. In our conversation, we will learn about her exciting project and her journey from the childhood to who she is today. Cerise will share how her life experiences have shaped her art and made it unique in the world of luxury. Cerise, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Pierre. Thank you so much for having me.
That's a pleasure. I'm very excited for this interview. And before we started this broadcast, you told me that this is the first time that you are doing such interviews.
It is my first time. It's my first time doing it live. But
So
I'm
where
happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
and where are you located right now?
I'm in Southwest London, just near
Okay.
Wimbledon.
And I heard that you have been living in also in Dubai, right?
Yes, I was in Dubai for about 16, 17 years. And then I was in Beirut living there for 3 years, a year in Kuwait. So roughly about 19 years in the Middle East. Long
And
time.
and what was the motivation for you to move to Dubai and to Kuwait?
So I was in Kuwait when I was a little child with my parents. I lived there because my dad was an engineer on a project, and then we eventually moved back to the UK. But then I always kind of knew that I would end up moving back to the Middle East. It was kind of like inside of here in my heart that I would end up going back. And my father was working on a job in Dubai on one of the big skyscrapers on Sheikh Zayed Road, and I just finished university in Manchester, and he said, "Why don't you come out for a holiday for 2 weeks and see what it's like?" And back then in 1999, no one really had heard of Dubai. It was a very much up and coming place, and so I went for a 2 week holiday, and it was brilliant. Enjoyed it, and came back to England, and that was it. I quit my job. I was actually engaged to be married. I said bye bye to him, and I just said, "That's it. I'm packing my bags and I'm going out to the Middle East to live and work." So I worked in advertising. I was a designer for quite some time out there,
Okay,
and
okay.
then I ended up getting married and had children, and yeah. So I was there for 90 years.
What are the main differences that you see in terms of culture or life experience between Dubai, Middle East, and Europe and London, for instance?
Yeah, London is, I mean, I've been here since 2016 when I moved back to Wimbledon. I mean, the weather, it's grey, it's cold, it's miserable. That is something to get used to. It's really difficult when you've been living out there in the heat. And of
Okay.
course, you've got people in the Middle East, and they are generally very, very warm, generous people. And yeah, it can be quite a difference when you come back to the UK. It's not easy.
Excellent, excellent. And do you often go back to Dubai or Kuwait?
No, I haven't been back
No.
to Kuwait actually for a very long time, but I try to get back to Dubai quite regularly, but I haven't been back for a number of years. The last time I was back in Beirut, where I visited,
Okay.
and that was amazing. Went with my kids, but it's been a big part of my life, the Middle East, and that's obviously where I started to paint
Okay.
back out there.
And I think that's a nice transition. So for the Galileo community listening to us, so we are welcoming Cerise Washington on our marketplace. So art and painting will be available to purchase with cryptocurrency on our upcoming marketplace. And the first question that I have, and it will be also for you to introduce yourself, Cerise Washington, who you are and what are you doing?
Who am I? I'm an artist. I used to be a figurative artist, but now I've moved over into abstract impressionism. So I sell my work to private collectors, exhibitions in London, and also I work with interior designers. And also I'm moving into a new space, which is producing my work onto silk scarves.
Okay.
So that's quite an interesting market that I've been going into. Yeah, but based in London, working in London.
Excellent, excellent. And what is your experience with the blockchain, the Web3, or the cryptocurrency ecosystem? Like,
So the blockchain I'm quite new to, but obviously with the NFTs I'm slowly learning. So the tech side I'm not really used to it, to be honest with you. I'm slowly gaining experience, but I mean, selling my art through this digital chain is quite interesting to me, moving into the crypto sphere. So that's quite exciting. I have invested in some crypto, so let's see where that goes. So we're in a digital market now, so we have to go with the times.
I think the community wants to know in which type of cryptocurrency you already invested.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Okay.
Yes.
That's the secure way, I would say. That
Yes. I mean, but I do know people within that market, so they're the ones that are advising me. But it's slowly growing, so let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how it happens.
I think this is the best approach, and you are invested into a very volatile asset like this. It's just to wait and
Yes.
see, and not to look at your portfolio on a daily basis because your
No.
emotion will spike.
Yes.
And because of this emotion, you might do a wrong thing, or you might be doing a mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not looking at it. I've actually forgotten about it, but I have somebody who's monitoring it for me. And
Okay.
it is actually slightly going up, but I'm not touching it for quite some time. But yeah, I know people that have lost a lot of money. So
Also,
it's scary. It can happen. So
absolutely. And especially, in France, we have some statistics that are telling us that within the crypto ecosystem, there is 90% of the people that are losing money.
oh gosh, don't tell me that. Don't
But
say that.
there is also a statistic that is telling us that if you hold your cryptocurrency for more than 3 years, you cannot lose money
Okay. Okay.
because you
See.
wait and see. Yeah.
We'll wait and see. Exactly.
And the things that I did, I remember. So my first Bitcoin investment was in 2016, but I went huge on cryptocurrency in 2018.
Mhm.
And what I did, so at the beginning, I was looking at my portfolio on a daily basis, but
Yeah.
I was feeling greed and I was feeling fear, and
Yes.
I was afraid to make some mistakes. So one day, what I did is like I put my portfolio on my smartphone
Yeah.
into my offices, and I forget it for months and months and months.
Yeah. I
And
think that's
and
the
when
best
and when I got back, I was somehow surprised also
Yes.
as well. So
Yeah.
that's what we are, not financial advisor, but that's what we
Yeah.
are suggesting is like to wait and see and to be patient. I think this is
Well,
a key
I
word.
was quite surprised to know how much. I mean, it's a small investment, but it's a beginning. So it's a new market. Let's wait and see. I'll let you know if anything big happens.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know. And so, do you have some friends, maybe some artists, artists that are leveraging blockchain technology already, or maybe that experienced the blockchain technology in the past?
No, I don't really know of anyone at the moment who's really going into that. No.
Okay. And did you hear about this artist called Beeple?
No, no.
No, because the idea for me to create Galileo Protocol, so there is this artist named Beeple. He was creating a physical sculpture, and
Mm-hmm.
instead of giving an invoice and a deed at the notary, he
Mm.
was minting an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain, and he
Okay.
was giving this NFT to the customers. And
Oh,
what's fantastic is like you can understand who has been issuing this NFT. So in this case, Beeple, but you can have
yeah,
also the ownership log, so you can see all
yeah,
the owners of this artwork. But
yes,
also you can evolve the NFT along with the life cycle of the object. I mean,
yes,
if the physical sculpture is moving from the US to London, for instance, you
yeah.
can indicate in the blockchain that this one has been moving.
Well, yeah, it sounds an exciting time. So this is why I'm investing in Galileo, because I mean, we have to move with the times. So I'm very excited to have my art on the marketplace.
Super. Us too. We are very happy about this. So Liz, I have few questions, and what I like to understand also is not only who you are right now and what you do right now, but it was also about your different experiences that made you who you are today and what you do. And
Mhm.
the first questions that I have is like, there is a special moment in your childhood that made you love art.
What was that special time?
Yeah, a special time, a special experience that you remember, and that like,
It,
wow.
I started at 14. I started painting at 14. I mean, my mom put me in an adult painting class. It was supposed to be a children's painting class, but the teacher said, I think she's too advanced to go into this one. So I ended up being in an adult oil painting class every
Okay.
week. And when my mom came back after 3 hours to pick me up and she saw what I did, she was blown away, and the teacher was blown away. And from that moment, I was hooked with oil painting. It's something that I do, and time just goes, and I feel the happiest when I'm painting.
That's the most important. But
Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
what you're telling us is like you naturally you had talents since you are a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, definitely. Since when I was younger, yeah. Unfortunately, at that time there was, unfortunately, there was a time at school where my career advisors were saying it's very difficult to work as an artist, to make money as an artist. So you might be better going into like the graphic design route, you know, being more in an advertising industry. Unfortunately, I did go into that market for quite a long time, and I was working as a graphic designer and art director in Dubai and in Beirut. And but I always knew deep down that I was missing my art. So I always tried to paint on the side. But it was only when I got to Dubai, and especially living in Beirut, I think it was living in Beirut when I was bringing up my children, and then living by the sea, the Corniche in Lebanon, and seeing the different sunsets and the stormy clouds. I mean, that light is so beautiful to paint. And that's where it all started. And of course, my father died at that time, so I put my emotions into my painting in Lebanon, and it actually started in Lebanon, in Beirut. And that's why now I paint more with emotions. There's a lot of feeling there. So I'm happiest when I'm painting on my canvas.
and about your parents, or they were involved also into the culture, into the arts?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, they didn't really know much about art history in itself. If they had done, I'm sure they would have pushed me a little bit more into the art. But it's only since my art has been growing over the past 10 years, I should say, that they've been pushing me a lot more, especially my mom, especially now that I'm getting a lot more recognition and commissions, and
Okay.
a little bit more on an international basis.
Excellent. And then after, during your when you were a teenager, or maybe during the university, like, did you went into a school where you were refining your techniques and the way you are painting?
Yeah, I mean, at university, I did graphic design.
Okay.
So it was very technical. I was on the computer. I was always working on the Mac. So on the side, I always did my painting. But deep down, I always wanted to be an artist. It wasn't really graphic design. Being stuck in front of a computer, all day didn't really resonate with me, to be honest with you.
How your art and your techniques has been evolving from since the childhood, the young adults, to what you are doing right now?
So say that again. Sorry, Pierre.
Now, my question is towards like how your art has been evolving, or your technique has been evolving since the years.
Yeah, I mean, I used to start with a lot of figurative. I did a lot of portraiture, and I used to do a lot of horses. So when I lived in Dubai, I was doing a lot of the equestrian market and polo horses. And then my first exhibition, really, the big one, was at the Dubai World Trade Center. And that was with Sheikh Mohammed that was there. And painting horses was beautiful. It really was beautiful. And then I moved into, animals, and I did a lot of portraiture. But I found, once I moved back to London, I found that there wasn't really a market for it. And because I was naturally changing my art, it was becoming a little bit more fluid, and I was experimenting more. I have an agent that works here in London with me, and she said to me, I think it's about time that you evolved your art, and you need to progress into something different. And that's when I started to do a lot more abstract, impressionistic work.
Okay.
And that's proven to be really popular.
Okay.
So I've potentially got an exhibition coming up in the summer working on that. So yes, exciting times ahead.
So you had a mentor, right?
Oh, what? Sorry?
Yeah, you had a mentor.
Yes, I had a mentor and I have an agent. Yes, so it's very good as an artist to have that. You need that.
Okay. All right. And what are the artists that are inspiring you today?
I love Turner. Turner absolutely inspires me with the light and the color. Just last week, I was at the National Gallery in London and I was looking at his work, and I just get completely lost. It's beautiful. I do also like a lot of modern art as well. I do like Rothko. I like the colors used there, and I quite like a little bit of Banksy. So there's some variations there that I like, but I think where I can feel lost and get a lot of influence from is the Turner work. And I
Okay.
think that it translates more into my work, especially with doing a lot of sky and sea paintings.
Excellent. And I can see in your office series that there is some painting behind you. Like, can you tell us
Yes,
a little bit?
yes, this one is one of my paintings, yes. And the one on the side here, this is a portrait which is not finished of my mom, of my mother. So that's work in progress.
Okay. And I can see at on your left there is some roses also as well.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's the Valentine's Day
Yeah,
gift.
that's about the Valentine's Day.
I had to put those in.
And Cerise, why did you decided to join us in this adventure of creating a collaboration between the blockchain and the art? Like, what was the major decisions that make you decided to go with Galileo and to list your artwork and your paintings on the marketplace?
I think it's time that as artists it's good to embrace new technology, and especially now us going into the digital market, it's becoming very popular, and especially now I'm getting used to crypto. It's good to get used to NFTs, and Galileo is something that I'm looking forward to working with you both. It's an exciting time, and I think the idea that art can exist physically and digitally as an ownership, I think that's quite exciting. I think it really interests me.
And we were navigating your website, and we absolutely love what you are doing and what you are proposing to your community and to your clients. And we are seeing your art as a piece of luxury also as well. Like, from your perspective, how do you see the connection between art and luxury?
I think art, gosh, art is seen as a luxury. I mean, for collectors, it's seen as an investment for the future. And I hope to one day my paintings will be in many collectors' home, and it will be an investment for the future. So yeah, fingers crossed.
And who are your clients today? Are they coming from Europe or everywhere around the world?
America. A couple of American clients. One of them I don't even know because I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know who it was, which is a shame. But with that, I was working with the interior designer who was hired by the client. So unfortunately, I don't know who that person was. But America and in London and in Paris as well.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Cerise, do you see a second-hand market for your artwork?
Sorry, say that again, Pierre.
Do you see a second-hand market for your artwork?
Yeah, I find the American clients, I find the American market is really interested in British artists. I've had a lot of communication with American people who actually want to buy my art. I mean, I used to have an exhibition. I used to do exhibitions at the Wimbledon Art Studios, and they were predominantly Parisian and American were quite interested in the art. So I can see who is quite interested. Also, the Chinese market, Hong Kong. And they're quite interested in not really in the paintings, but in the scarves. Okay. They're really interested in the scarves. This is one of my scarves. This is one of the paintings that I have. And it's reproduced on silk. But I find the Chinese market is really interested in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the hardest or the most unusual projects that you have been working on during your career?
In terms of art?
In terms of art, yeah, yeah,
Unusual. Gosh, I can't think of one. An unusual job project.
unusual or an obstacle, something difficult, or a particular
Mm,
request from a client.
yeah, I think probably the hardest one where I was commissioned by an American client to do this huge painting, and I realized it wouldn't even work in my studio. And then I had to completely move studios into a bigger one just to hold this huge 2.5 meter canvas, and that was quite difficult, especially maneuvering that was quite hard.
Okay, and it pushed you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
You believe?
absolutely. Yeah, because I'd never actually worked that large before. To work on a huge scale canvas that big, it was a tough one. So yeah, I ended up moving studios, and yeah, that was an interesting one.
And when we were preparing this interview, also, Cerise, you told us about the story of the Covent Garden penthouse.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that was it. That really pushed me because my agent said to me, the client is looking for a 2.5 meter painting to go in between his two windows. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, I don't have the space. My studio's not big. So I immediately said, yes, of course I can do that. And yeah, that's why I had to move studios, just to accommodate that one client. So, and I think I had a time of 3 weeks to do 3 commissions in, which is very, very tight to do.
Okay. And,
Not easy.
and at the
But it
beginning,
was boundaries. I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot.
we learn from experiences, we learn
Yeah.
from obstacles, we learn by being outside of our comfort zone, and that's what
Mm,
make us
mm,
human, and to evolve. And sorry,
yeah.
is that at the beginning of the interview, you were telling us that you live in Dubai, Beirut, and now in London. How these different cities and countries has been influencing also your style?
Hmm.
do, do,
Um, sorry?
do you represent the Middle East in your artwork, or do you have some influence from Middle East artists that
Yeah,
you,
I do. I think when I was painting in Beirut and Dubai, the light, the sunsets, very much I was depicting more there. What I'm doing here at the moment is, I think, is a lot of more impasto abstract work, which could be relevant for like the UK,
okay,
showing the UK landscape, I should say. But I still like to bring in. I still like to bring in a lot of the colors from, let's say, from Europe, especially from the Provence. I'm doing a painting at the moment, which is a painting of the Provence. So I'm using a lot of those colors. So yeah.
okay. And during, so I imagine that you have been traveling a lot, you have been
Yeah.
meeting a lot of people. Like, do you have any stories or a memorable meetings that continue to inspire you today?
I think in terms of inspiration and in terms of meeting people, I think the opportunity that I had to go to the Monaco Yacht Show and to meet all those people there, all these innovators and yacht designers. And I mean, that's an inspiration to me. That pushes me to think, well, what else can I do? Maybe not just necessarily abstract. Maybe I can go into, nautical. So now I'm kind of going into the nautical market where I'm painting, nautical scene, I should say.
And so currently, so you have children, from what I heard.
Yes.
Are they are they into the art world, or the culture world,
Yes,
or
so
they?
my youngest daughter, she got into school on an art scholarship here in Holland Park, and she absolutely hates it.
Did you try to motivate her to continue and to
I
pursue?
tried to. She absolutely hates it, and she's a fantastic artist. She's so much better than I am, but
Yeah.
she hates it with a passion. So maybe in years to come, she'll do it again. Who knows?
All right, all right. And so going back to the blockchain technology, so we had some question from the community that I wanted to highlight. If I find them, I have a lot of papers here. I think, yeah, one of the question is like, so why did you decided to go within the blockchain? So you told us that it's a new adventure, that's a buzzword also as well. It can enhance the traceability and the transparency, but in which extent do you think the blockchain technology can help also the artistic world, and what kind of benefits you can have from this technology?
I think as an artist, to move with the times that we're in. We're in a digital time right now, and I think for me, I'm going with the times. I don't just want to stay as an artist and just do physical and do a physical painting on a canvas. I want to move with the times and go into crypto, go into NFTs, go into that side digital, and see where it takes us. So it's for me, I find it very exciting. So let's wait and see, what happens with Galileo and see what happens.
And I have another question from community members are asking, like, how do you sell your arts today?
So I sell my art through commissions and gallery exhibitions, and also direct sales to collectors. And I'm also it's obviously through social media as well. And word of mouth. I think in London, predominantly in London, a lot of people is who you know. I think that's very important. And when I've been networking quite a lot, I get to know people who are needing a piece, or working with interior designers, and they're needing a particular piece for their living room, say, for example, and then they will commission me in that respect. So yeah, in those ways as well. And also I do a lot for charity work as well. I'm producing a piece for the Super Yacht Charities Group, which is for next month. So I have a deadline of March the 8th to finish my piece. So this is what I'm doing is producing a painting which is Turneresque in style, by the way that I paint, with the sea and the sky, but at the same time I'm integrating a super yacht inside that painting. Excellent. So it used to be called Kismet, now it's called Whisper. So that is for the Super Yacht Charities Group for charity.
And and how many pieces a year do you produce in average?
Pardon?
How many pieces of art do you produce a year?
I probably need to do more. I'd probably say only about 9-10 pieces, but I need to do more. I'm mom of 2, so I'm quite busy as well. So
and when you are starting a new production, like there is a trigger, like an emotion, like an experience, like
if I see a particular image or photograph that I absolutely fall in love with, I'm very excited to get onto the canvas and start working. So I mean, with this commission that I'm doing for the charities, I feel quite passionate about it. So it's moving quite quickly.
And are you building the paintings that you want in your mind before, or do you have like a model, like a picture, like a?
I do. I do. I have to see it in my mind. I have to visualize it. Like this, what I'm doing right now is here next to me, but I can't show it at the moment. But I can honestly visualize how it's going to be, which I think is really important as an artist. We need to know how it's going to look like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the next question that I had is like, so I imagine that you have a collection of artworks that you have been producing, but you refuse to showcase your client in gallery. It's a little room in which you have some art, and you are not.
Yeah, there is. No? Yeah, but there is that. But what I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing a series of work of nautical scenes. So I'm quite excited about that. But yeah, I do have a room of artwork that some people don't see. Sometimes I can have paintings that I'm working on for a number of years. and I could have 2 or 3, 4 paintings that I'm working on and still not finish, and I go at different times. I think that's quite common as an artist, I think.
And are you building a link between all the artworks that you are doing, like a story, or do
No,
we have
no,
very no?
yeah, they just could be, you know, random individual pieces. They could be.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what other form of art do you like, Cerise? Music, cinema, movies?
Oh yeah, I'm a very creative person. I'm very creative. I like anything to do with film, theater. I like to act. I used to be in the theater when I was younger, and just a few weeks ago, I was a supporting artist in a film here in Kingston in London. So that was really exciting. So a lot of the creative side, acting, theater, painting, not singing, but
And when you are painting, like, do you see it as a form of meditation? You know, we are always in our head, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, thinking about the
absolutely,
problem. Like, do you see
absolutely.
that, yeah, as a way
Yeah,
to focus on
absolutely.
the moment
You know,
present?
sometimes if you can wake up in the morning and you think, oh, I have this problem, I have this problem, you know, when I'm painting, I don't think of anything. It is the best form of meditation and healing, because any kind of issues or problems, they're just gone. That for me, they are. I don't feel anything except painting.
Okay.
So it's a form of meditation. It's a form of healing for sure, definitely. And just recently, I was invited to go to Zurich for the art fair there, and the lady who was interviewing me, she was more interested in the healing process
Yeah.
of art. It's not just
Okay.
about painting, but how it
Yeah.
makes you feel. So it's very important. I think art can be a therapy for people who are
Absolutely.
depressed, you know, got problems.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, I'm not an artist, but I like to play piano. My
Okay.
father made me playing piano when I was a very young kid. At this time, I didn't like it because it was
Yeah.
all about music theory and learning some classical pieces.
Yeah.
But a few years after, I started to like it very, very much and to concentrate on very difficult pieces.
Yeah.
And the same is like we always have some problems, desires, etc.
Yeah.
And the simple fact to focus on something, on instruments, is like meditation. And I
Absolutely.
like it to be in the moment present.
Absolutely. Definitely. For sure.
Do you play music, by the way?
I used to play music. I used to play the cello and I used to play the clarinet.
The
So
cello. What is
yeah,
a cello? I
it's
don't know.
it's a huge cello, like not the violin, the big one.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the only reason why I finished it at primary school is because I used to walk up this hill when I was younger, and the thing was too heavy for me, so I quit. And then
And
I used to play the clarinet when I was at school, and then that ended up stopped because I had braces on my teeth, so I couldn't play
yeah.
the clarinet anymore.
And what is your favorite instrument?
I think I'd love to play the piano,
Piano.
definitely. Yeah, definitely the piano. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a
Probably
big
the violin.
spectrum of sounds. I used to play
Yeah.
guitar and piano, and I love piano, and especially I love the romantic period with Liszt, Chopin,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, Debussy, and all that kind of
Beautiful.
stuff. I would love to learn the Nocturne of Chopin, but I think there is many years that I need to learn the piano. And I
When
bought a
I'm
new one.
sorry,
Yeah,
when I'm painting, I listen to a lot of Hans Zimmer.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful,
It's a,
beautiful. That really gets you in the mood for painting, listening to that.
it's inspire you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I remember also when I was a student, you know, stories. I told you that I used to be a physiotherapist in Spain, and
Yeah.
when I was studying physiotherapy also as well, I had to study many hours a day, and we had exams, and it stressed me a lot not to be able to success my exam because the lessons was too big. And
Yeah.
always I was learning my lessons by hearing some Chopin and some classical music, just to
Yeah.
calm down my mind and to be able to be okay. You are going to do it. Focus on the moment present. Focus on the
Yeah,
peacefulness, and everything will be fine.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. Do you have, Cerise? Do you have an anecdote, a story that you would like to share to our community?
Which part? You mean from childhood or
Up to
from
you.
you mean crazy things that have happened or
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want, whatever cross your mind, you can tell us. Feel free.
I crashed my dad's car at the age of 14.
Yeah, why?
I mean that's pretty crazy. You know, we lived in Lancashire. That's where I grew up in the north of England. It was surrounded by fields, and I had a cousin who was always driving his car on his dad's car on the farm. And I always used to say to my mom, it's not fair. I want to learn to drive as well. So she said, okay, then fine. So we were in this like large field. So I got in the car. Unfortunately, my foot just went straight on the accelerator. I just went straight into the wall. So that's pretty crazy. I was pretty crazy as a child, I have to say. Yeah.
But 14 years old.
Naughty. Quite naughty.
Do you still drive car, and is everything
I
okay?
do.
Yeah?
And the best time I was driving my car for 19 years in the Middle East. Dubai, Beirut. I never crashed the car. I arrived in London after 3 months of living here, I crashed my car. And driving, the best time was probably in Beirut, Lebanon.
Okay.
Brilliant. You can drive through red lights and you didn't do anything.
I know in this kind of country there is no rules about driving.
No, it was great.
It's very sportive. You know, my wife, she's coming from Tunisia, and every summer I go to Tunisia. So everybody in my family doesn't want to drive a car because it's very sportive and there is no rules at all. So imagine a roundabout, but there is no one direction for the roundabout.
Yes.
And I'm always taking the car, but it's very stressful in some extent. And we went into Egypt also as well 1 year ago, but the traffic jam and the way people are driving over there also, it's completely crazy.
Yeah, very, very bad, very bad. And that's the problem when you move to a country like England again. You realize that it's so strict and there's so many laws and there's so many cameras, you can't get away with anything.
There is cameras that is
everywhere in London. I hate driving in London. When I first came to London with my car, I probably racked up £2,000 in fines.
Because of what? Of the speed limit? Of the
just didn't realize what I was doing wrong. It's very different to driving in Dubai, and now I don't drive in central London. Central London, I don't drive in. I keep out.
And you told me, Cerise, that you had the chance also to visit France. Where did you go?
Sorry, say that again. Yeah.
You told us that you used to travel in France also as well. Which cities did you go?
A lot of places in the French Alps, in Avignon and Grenoble, Bordeaux, Nice, so many places. I've just come back from Monaco Yacht Show and I was staying in Nice. So yeah, very, very connected to France. And I think I'd like to end up retiring there in the future, for sure.
And if you are going to Bordeaux, you know, you can find the most popular wines in Bordeaux. You know, the place is very reputable for this. So if you want to join us in Bordeaux to say hi, maybe you are in vacation or you want to travel, we welcome you in the office right now.
Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely, definitely. Well, actually, my next visit I want to go is the Cannes Yachting Festival. That's my next step.
Okay. All right. So to inform the community about Cerise Washington and her painting, so they will be available on the Galileo Marketplace. So as you know, we have been launching the marketplace 1 year ago. It was a minimum viable product. What we want and what we aim to do with this marketplace is to connect brands and artists with the crypto community. For the brand and artist perspective, they have the possibility also to connect with the Web3 ecosystem. And from the crypto community, they have the possibility to use the cryptocurrency to buy goods, arts, and luxury items directly with their holdings. And this marketplace is being revamped right now. We are going to launch this new marketplace in the coming weeks. I'm very excited about the design, about the ease of use of this marketplace. And as all the product within the marketplace, so Stories Washington painting will be available for purchase, and they will come also with a digital passport based on the blockchain. And this digital passport will guarantee the ownership and the authenticity of this painting. So you can use your cryptocurrency to buy the paintings, and you will receive in your wallet also this PNFT, so physical non-fungible token, aka the digital passport, that make you the owner of this piece of art, and you can understand also the life cycle of this art. So it will be soon available. We are going to inform you in few weeks. We are making some testing. The product department and the technical development are still developing this marketplace. But I had the chance to view it. I love the design. I love the simplicity. And Cerise, I think the crypto ecosystem, if we want to make it mass adopted, we need to work also on the ease of use of this technology. Because when I'm talking about crypto, blockchain, Web3 to my mother, grandfather, etc., they doesn't understand how to use it and how it works. So we are trying to make our application very easy to use, very user friendly. So you feel that buying on the marketplace is like buying on Amazon or sending an email, very easy to use. And I think this is the next step for the crypto and the Web3 ecosystem, is how we are going to onboard the next million people by making our tools easy to use. I think this is the end of the interview series. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I love your energy. We are very excited about your introduction within the marketplace. Do you have a final remarks or a conclusion, or maybe to tell our community how to get more information about your style, about your paintings, or about you?
Yeah, if anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, I'm there. The same with my website. And just thank you so much, Pierre, for having me. It was a really, really good interview. And I'm really excited to learn more. I think that's something that I'm interested in, is actually learning more about it. So I'm very excited. Thank you for having me.
Super. It was a wonderful experience. It's Valentine's Day. I think it's time also for me to see my wife. We have some things to do this evening.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It was a complete pleasure, and thank you, Cerise. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.